Hey there, this is me. My name is Evan and I'm an online reseller. Typically you can find me at some wild or wonderful place just like this. I love to travel, and since reselling is passive income, I kind of just come and go as I please. And because reselling is so consistent, it allows me to plan ahead and know exactly how much I have to spend at these places at all times. It's not all sunshine and roses though. I do have to find inventory, and that's typically at thrift stores. Not a big deal. Typically I can run into any random local Goodwill, and since prices are so low, I can fill up a cart in a few minutes and walk away with a couple $1,000s in profit. Of course, the stuff I pick up may have to be cleaned, and it definitely has to get listed online, but that's why I have such a great team of employees. I use that term employees loosely because I don't actually pay them. They just work out of the goodness of their hearts. Maybe I should call them co-workers? But having co-workers is great because there's always someone to talk to and bounce ideas off of and just hang out with during the day. They also do a wonderful job when it comes to shipping items. I never have to worry about things breaking, and we always have the perfect size box on hand at all times. Finally, another cool thing about reselling is that all of the customers are online. So unlike my past job where I had to deal with angry customers, with reselling you never see or hear from your customers. They just buy stuff and you get paid. Reselling really is the best job around, and I don't understand why more people don't do it. So this isn't exactly the truth. Reselling is not that easy, but these are common misconceptions and lies that people say about reselling. And that's what this video is all about. We're going to break down the misconceptions, break down the lies, and kind of show you the reality of reselling. Let's start here. Reselling is passive income.
A lie detector determined that was a lie.
Reselling is definitely not passive income, at least not the way I do it. I actually go to thrift stores and garage sales, buy stuff, and then list it on places like eBay and Mercari to sell it online. So that means I'm constantly doing something. Whether it's going to a thrift store, going to a yard sale, cleaning up the items that I bought, taking pictures of them, listing them on those online platforms, or shipping them out. I'm always doing something. Now there could be a lull from when you list something and then it actually sells online, but honestly, there shouldn't be. You should constantly be listing because the more stuff you have listed, the more you're gonna sell. Reselling is so consistent, it allows me to plan ahead and know exactly how much I have to spend at these places at all times. Oh, how I wish this were true. If my sales totals looked like this, I could actually plan ahead and budget and plan for stuff that I had coming up and know exactly how much money I'd have left over. But honestly, there's really not that much consistency in reselling. You've got things like summer slowdown, fourth quarter when things actually pick up, January when you get a bunch of returns, and just on a day-to-day basis, it's not that consistent. If you look at my actual 30-day sales chart, you can see that I had an $850 day right next to a $47 day. You just never know. Typically, I can run into any random local Goodwill, and since prices are so low, I can fill up a cart in a few minutes and walk away with a couple $1,000s in profit. This can and does happen, but honestly, it's the exception, not the norm. You may spend countless hours and drive several miles before you find anything to resell. And then when you find it, you may be met with super high prices, like this pair of shoes that they're asking $50 for. It can be done though, and that's the exciting part. It's the thrill of the hunt and the joy when you actually find something that's worth a decent amount of money. My best advice if you're starting out is to gain a bunch of knowledge, do a bunch of research, whether it's by watching what sold videos on YouTube or actually diving into categories on eBay to see what really sells. That way when you actually see it in a thrift store, you'll know to pick it up. Of course, the stuff I pick up may have to be cleaned, and it definitely has to get listed online, but that's why I have such a great team of employees. Certainly there are resellers out there with employees, I know there are, but for most of us, we are our business. For example, I'm the president, vice president, the CEO, CFO, CIO, the CDO, human resources department, shipping department, the marketing department. You get the picture. It basically means that we handle every part of our business. And success or failure depends solely on us. And if you're a full-time reseller, that can actually be a little stressful. Another thing that folks don't realize is that without coworkers, reselling can actually be kind of lonely. You spend all day, every day, doing everything by yourself without anyone to talk to or bounce ideas off of. Staff meetings around here actually look a little different. when it comes to shipping items. I never have to worry about things breaking, and we always have the perfect size box on hand at all times. This one could actually go either way. Shipping can really be pretty easy, but from a beginner's point of view, it's also very complicated. There's several different shipping services, and each one of those has several categories underneath it. And you want to make sure you ship it the fastest way, but also the cheapest way. It can be pretty confusing and take a while to learn. Not to mention, sometimes I think some of these guys' idea of fun is to just try and break whatever it is we're shipping. And that means you have to package it particularly well and maybe use more shipping supplies than you really need. Speaking of shipping supplies, make sure you have what you need before you list an item. If you sell some big, crazy, odd-shaped thing, you may spend hours looking for the right box. And that's going to put you in a race against time to get it shipped out. With reselling, you never see or hear from your customers. They just buy stuff and you get paid. This is probably one of the biggest misconceptions I hear. It's that you don't have to deal with people. And honestly, that's just not true. No, your customers aren't standing right there in front of you. They're online. But reselling is very much a customer-oriented business. And you're going to have some good ones and you're going to have some bad ones. You may get 10 questions about one item from a customer that never buys anything. You will get a bunch of lowball offers. You may get a buyer that claims that an item that you sent them didn't work when you know full well that it did, and they just have buyer's remorse. You may even get scammed and a customer buys your good working item and sends back their broken one. There are good buyers too though, but honestly, those are the ones you never hear from. They just leave positive feedback and go on about their day. Customer issues are gonna arise, you're gonna have to deal with them, and your customer service needs to be top notch. There are obviously more lies and misconceptions that you'll hear, like everything that you list is gonna sell super quick online. And if you don't sell over $600 worth of stuff, you don't have to pay taxes. But my absolute favorite is
resellers are the scum of the earth. They literally take stuff away from poor people.
Now, obviously, I can't discuss everything here. That would take way too long, but I do want to hear from you guys. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you're hearing out there. What are some common lies and misconceptions that you hear about reselling? Reselling really is the best job around, and I don't understand why more people don't do it.
Detector test determined you're telling the truth.
Reselling to me really is amazing, and I hope you don't think that I've been sitting here for like the past 7 minutes just bashing reselling. I just wanted to point out that it's not as easy as some people make it seem, and I'm probably just as guilty. But obviously, if you clicked on this channel, you can see that I love reselling. I mean, what other business can you start with basically little or no money? I mean, we've all got stuff laying around the house that we don't need anymore that has value that we could sell online, and basically you're in business. And because you're your own boss, you can work whenever or wherever you want to. Now, the amount of work you put in directly affects your sales, but reselling does give you a freedom that is kind of amazing. Even if reselling is a side hustle for you, it is a great way to make some extra money to pay down some debt or pay off some bills. Obviously, as with anything, reselling is not perfect, and I just wanted to kind of shed some light on that. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do appreciate you hanging out. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.